Hi there. In this tutorial we will learn how to make a new image old. So let's take a look on entire process. So at first we have to open our exercise file. So here is the file menu, here is the open option. Inside the effect of visual style folder you will get this Zoe Unsplash image. So you have to select it and then you have to click open. This is our image and you can take a look, a nice old couple smiling on the image, and we will make this image older. You can take a look, this image is taken using a latest DSLR camera and it's totally a new image, and we will make this image old. So let's start the process. So at first we have to use labels from adjustments panel. So here is the labels option and I want to change the parameter from here. So let's change the parameter. I want to go for output levels for 46. Here is the parameter of output levels. So let me minimize the properties. Okay, now I want to duplicate the background layer. So let me click on this background layer. You just have to select the background layer, then you have to duplicate the background layer. So you can use Ctrl or Command J for duplicating layer, or you can just use your mouse. You just have to right click on here, then you will get this duplicate layer option. So let me write high pass. Okay, let me click OK. So you can take a look, we got our new layer, and please make sure this high pass layer is selected. So right now we will add a high pass filter. So therefore we have to click on filter menu, and from there we will go for other option, and from the other option you will get this high pass filter option. So let me click on this high pass filter option. Here is the pop-up for high pass, and you can take a look, here is the radius. So right now it's have 1000 pixels for radius, but we don't want to use 1000 pixels, we want to reduce the radius. Okay, we can keep for 30 pixels, and let me click OK. So you can take a look, we got our high pass filter in our high pass layer, and right now we will use blending option. So let's use the blending option, and here is the blending option, and we will use a hard light blending option. So here is the hard light blending option. So let me click on this hard light blending option, and you can take a look difference between applying a high pass before and after. So let me turn off the high pass layer. Here is the before and here is the after. Okay, right now we have to create two new layers. So you just have to select the levels one, and then you have to create two more new layers. So let me create the first one. You just have to use this new layer option. So let me click on this new layer option, and I want to rename this layer name. You just have to double click on this layer name and let me write Z1, that means gradient 1, and let me create another. Let me write Z2, that means gradient 2. So let me select Z1, that means gradient 1, and we will add a gradient in Z1 layer, and we will add another gradient for Z2 layer. So let's add the first gradient in our Z1 layer. So here is the gradient tool. So you just have to select it, and here is the option for changing the presets. So I want to change the presets. You just have to click on here and you will get the gradient editor option. I don't want to use this black color, so I want to change the black color. You just have to double click on here, then you will get the color option, and I want to use white color as well. So let me click OK. and let me click OK. And now we have to draw a gradient in this image. So let me draw a gradient line in here. So you can take a look, we got a white gradient here, but we have to use blending option for this gradient one as well. And we will use color gradient mode for gradient one layer. So here is the layer option, and we will use this color gradient layer. So we can take a look, we got black and white effect in the image. And let's work with Z2, that means gradient 2 layer. So we have to select this Z2 layer and we will create another gradient in G2 layer. So let's click on here. Here is the option for gradient editor, and I want to change the color as well. So let me select this color and let's pick some color from here. I want to go for this color. Let me click OK, as well as I want to use the second color from here, and I want to pick this color. Okay, let me click OK, and let me click OK. So let's draw a gradient line here. Okay, we got gradients and we have to use the blending option for Z2 gradient layer, and we will use the same gradient mode. We will use color gradient option. So here is the color gradient option, and I want to reduce the opacity for gradient 2. So here is the opacity option. So let me reduce the opacity. Okay, now it looks good. You can take a look, we almost got old effect in this image, but we want to make this image more older, and therefore we have to place a dust image inside this couple image. So let's place a dust image, and therefore we have to use place embedded option. So here is the file menu and here is the place embedded option. Inside the effect of visual style folder, you will get this dust image. You just have to select it and then you have to click place. Okay, let me make this dust image bigger, and we have to change the rotation. So let's change the rotation for this dust image. So you have to click in edit menu, and from there you have to click transform option, and then you have to click rotate 90-degree clockwise. So we got the rotation in our image, and let's scale the dust image with this old couple image. So let me hit the enter button, or you can click on this tick mark. Okay, we got the dust image here, but we have to use the blending option. So you just have to click on this blending option and you have to use divide blending mode. So here is the divide blending mode, and you can take a look. We got some white spot in this image. So if you want to reduce the opacity for dust, you can do that. So let me show you. So here is the opacity option. Let's reduce the opacity. Okay, looks good. Okay, right now I want to turn off the Z2 layer. Then you can have different type of effect in the image. So let me turn off the Z2 layer. It's totally black and white image along with the dust. And if you turn off the Z1 layer, you will have only high pass filter image along with the dust. So let me turn on only Z2 layer. You can take a look. We only have the gradient and high pass filter effect on this image, and if you enable this Z1 layer, then you will have a totally older image. So let's move all the layers into a group folder. You just have to select all the layers except the background layer, and then you just have to click on this group folder icon. Okay, you can take a look. So I want to turn off the group one layer, then you will have the previous look of this image. New image, old image, new image, old image. So this is how you will make a new image into old image. So see you in next lesson.